Hello there and welcome back again. So we've had a few suggestions as to how the Chad murder mystery is supposed to fit together, and that also allows me to show you what happens when there's a slight snag in the chronology and things don't work out entirely as we want them to. So let's begin with 1 and 2 up there, and there was also a disagreement whether this one comes first or that one comes first. But let's figure that out as we go. Regardless, this one always comes after the other two. Come on. Alright, let's see how this works out.
Our boy. Chad is putting our boy in there.
And bricking him up. Giving him to the sleeper. Forever.
The hell's going on? Where's he?
Alright, and there we see what happens when a scene isn't in the right spot. It's a bit unfair to make you do this by screenshots alone, basically. This one was in the right first spot, so it's now stuck. And this, the first scene, mentioned Ethan and the crypt, so naturally we have to move from there over to there. And this one mentions that she's looking for Ethan, so it appears that Ethan then has escaped the crypt or has gone somewhere else. And we'll have to put this, well, let's put it at the last spot for now. And the neat thing about the chronologies is that the others then just move all one spot up. Well, let's try this again.
Our boy.
Well, we can skip this now.
Chad, let me see.
No, it appears that that isn't the right continuation either. Well, that only leaves that we switch these two. And that one becomes number 2 automatically. Right, I think this should be it. Let's give it a shot.
Our boy. Chad is putting our boy in that crypt.
And bricking him up. Giving him to the sleeper. Forever.
You know he's harmless. You know this is wrong.
Chad, finish those bricks before he wakes up.
Ah, my eye!
Chad, let me see it.
Get the hell away from me! This is Dave's fault. He should have been helping!
Dave's weak. He always has been.
You're right. He is weak.
Chad, get off of him! He's your brother! Get off of him!
The hell's going on? Where's Ethan?
The one who sleeps must not sleep. Your Uncle Chad is dead. Where's Ethan?
It's not right. Ethan's our boy.
Dad, I need to get into the mine.
What? Mine? My key. I don't have it.
I guess I'll use the tunnel near the gate. Just keep Mom away from me, all right? She's sick. You were all sick.
The sleeper must not sleep. Ethan disturbed something. Whatever it was, it got out, into the air, and into the minds of his family.
Alright, so that clears that up. Well, as I said earlier, it's a little bit unfair to make you do this by way of screenshots alone, because the scenes give a lot of hints as to in what order they should be put. But there was one strong indication, which were the wounds on Chad's face and neck. Those were quite important to note, and, well, that's also a bit of my fault, because I didn't put too much emphasis on those. Anyway, what I want to do is I'm heading back for a second. Wait, let me just skip walking back to the house. Alright, so here I am again next to the house and the dam at the start, and we're going to take a little walk alongside the lake. There are basically two ways that we can get to the mines, which were mentioned very shortly there in the last cutscene. The game is very subtle about giving you hints as to direction and so forth. This part of the map is pretty much a circle, and the other way to get to the mines would have been to just go down from the crypts on the other side. But then we would miss a few audio snippets from Paul Prospero, and besides, I kinda like it here alongside the lake. Reminds me of when I was hiking in Scotland.
I've stepped through too many portals, been present in too many worlds simultaneously. Bits and pieces of me stay on the other side, waiting. Whenever I return, I bring parts of those worlds back. Do you know what ghosts are? They're sad, evicted things. Memories without homes.
In many ways, the game isn't really scary or frightening, I feel. It has almost no jump scares, and there aren't many gruesome scenes either. You could almost say it's hardly a horror game. But it does something which I appreciate a lot more. It focuses on what precedes horror, the anticipation of things as yet undetermined. It puts you in a constant existence of subtle terror. It's not scary, it's unsettling, and I find that a far rarer and more precious feeling, to be honest. Alright, so, and here we approach the mines. Well, as the cutscene mentioned, there was a lock on the mines, and we don't have the key. Or rather, Dad didn't have the key, so he didn't give it to Ethan, and the lock is still on there. But Ethan mentioned that there was another way in. Ah, over there. You can actually enter this without knowing about it, I believe. But it's really tricky to find if there isn't a glowing enter sign in front of it. I quite appreciate that they put a lot of lighting into these caves and have a bit of a contrast between the well-lit and unlit areas. I've once visited some more limestone caves in the south of the Netherlands, and without any artificial lighting, you really can't see anything when you're deep underground. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like you've suddenly gone blind. It's a very frightening feeling. Well, looks like we are going to have to go even deeper. Well, this lift takes about half a minute to get to the bottom, so let me do you the courtesy of skipping ahead. There are a few side tunnels here, but there's nothing to explore in these. We'll get to some interesting stuff later. I think that one, yes, that one was the right one. And with that, we already come upon our next mystery, which is going to include a chronology. Well, that's not very helpful. I'm not even sure we can actually find a pickaxe in the dark. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Isn't there supposed to be a lift here, like with the other one? Well, let's try and get that solved. Okay, then that's the end of Missy. Well, I don't think we can touch the body right now for the first vision, no. We're going to have to put a few things in the right spots first. Actually, we're probably only going to have to put the pickaxe over there, but... well, to do that, we actually do have to put some light into that tunnel. And it's a very short and very simple puzzle, to be honest. This thing provides a heck of a lot of light, and the only thing we need to do to get rid of the rocks on the rails is back up a bit so we can build up some speed and then just break through them. And then we're gonna go for a little roundabout. Perhaps they did this just to show off the lighting effects. I'm not sure, but I really like it. You can't actually inspect the pickaxe without the light, I believe. It doesn't look like there's any blood on it, so it's probably only used to break up the lock on the lift. Alright, well, let's put it into place and let's touch the dead body again. Is this anything? No, this is just a dark tunnel, alright. That looks like 4 scenes. Perhaps we're going to get a 5th. I believe there were usually 5. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to alphabetize them again, and that makes this one Scene A. Missy and Dad entering the mines. I don't think I spoil anything if I say that this is probably going to remain as the first scene, but let's look at the others as well, of course. Well, moving to the next scene, we have Dad picking up a pickaxe, so this is scene B. And then move on towards where Missy is in the lift and Dad is just standing in front of it. But he doesn't have a pickaxe over here. This is scene C for our purposes. And then we have Dad standing in front of the lift controls, but again without a pickaxe. Scene D. Finally, I believe this is the last one. That is then scene E, where we find Dad with the pickaxe. Alright, that looks like a fairly straightforward puzzle, I think. Well, and with that, I'm going to leave you again, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.